Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Supersonic Blur, joined today on the cast with Troublegum as we bring you the Battle for Athens 5v5 tournament here with Smite Prime, OmegaLUL versus...
Doing great, but he's not doing that great because he got picked up by Sobek early. That's the purpose Aegis and is dead. Shadowcaster surrounded. Can't move, can't die. Is dead. Double kill. Cheeky invade. Love it. But yeah, doing great.
Absolutely lovely invade. Just looking originally for... Doesn't even look like they were going for the ward placement there. Just looking for a kill. And that's exactly what they come away with. Sobek picked up his dash level 1. And usually we can see that being punished. But he's already got 7 stacks on a Warrior's Blessing. Everyone else with 10, except for Geb. So
and he got
double
2 kills on that one. Blink is down, so he really committed to that one. He got the blink early, got the plug early, got a punish a bit in lane, but Terra is not the greatest god to punish you in lane. She's more like a farmer, like a team fight god. You want to set up things, so you can't really punish it. So good choice there, good knowledge of the matchup, and very successful on that part.
So break this one down a little bit more for me, because I'm surprised that we see Terra here picked up first of all. After her change, she's been insane, but when you've got the Athena as well, why throw the Terra into the solo lane? Why not the Athena?
It's just a field thing, and solo is not that wanted right now. She's a wave player. Oh, I dropped you that one because Nigel blinked onto Henry on his Ula. Because he got chased down, can't fight it because Sprint is so good at level 1.
Very nice work there, coming out from OmegaLUL and One Down, both respectively. Realizing there was potential for an invade, Nemesis swings that way before even clearing out the back camps there. So good work on that one. Bit more aggression over in the mid camps. Ravan pushed very low. Good route onto the Nemesis is nice for damage, but now with the new one turning up, she's putting the aggression back onto the Regen. So steady PvP.
That's a lot of early aggression. And
that is a lot of early aggression.
I kind of love it. I love it when junglers mix up those jungle patterns because we're like so much like a train. Like, okay, the jungler does the speed buff, then does the back camp, then does the blue buff, then mostly go mid, take a mid camp. But no, he switched it up. He got speed buff directly into a gank for dual lane. No one expects that. It's possibly mostly really successful. Got the early sprint out, so a lot of tool they want to use for aggression is gone now. So good choice on his part, and yeah, I really love that he can do that.
Good bit of damage coming out from dual lane. And yeah, I do just want to say, changing up how you play these situations is good. Sprint, no, forced to try and keep Hachiman safe. EI Jutsu's away. Did he EI Jutsu? I think he may have done, but jump in from the aura is good. Shield comes out, giving a little bit more health. Axe stun is off the mark, but Hail of Arrows and Bladed Arrow are good as well. Aura falls very low because of the minions. Athena now trying to chase down a little bit more damage to get both sat around 100 HP. Nemesis is here to try and aggress onto it, and it looks like the team is good. Taunt, though, from Athena will buy Henry enough time to get away from that. That could have turned incredibly nasty.
Yeah, but both supports were insanely lucky with the level ups. Geb just got the level up to get a shield to save 6 man on the Hachiman, and Athena just got level 3 to get the taunt out to save his own AD carry. So both supports really go with the instant level up and Luke and use it.
Raging, looking for it in mid lane, picks up Ogi, uses the Aegis to get away from minions. Power shots will survive. Managed to force Ogi back very low in the mid lane, did he? And Shadowcaster, seeing Nemesis over in the right side, in the left side, sorry, just gave him the aggression points there.
Yeah, he cut out of the tower with single-digit HP. He was super low. I spotted him when he ran out of the tower. It was like 12, so he was lower. Popped the health potion. Got out so close, but this is a good answer. You get bullied in the early game. They do a cheeky play. Just go full aggro. They can punish them. Like, yep, you're not gonna do this to us. We're gonna fight back, and we're gonna fight back under your tower. You Nuva. He's not down.
Just a second.
Yes.
Right side, we saw a bit of aggression onto Terra. Actually, we may see a little bit follow-up as the pluck is good, but Nemesis had already dashed away, so no real follow-up was there. Good sickening strike. Terra now very low, but no punishment. And with the fact that she has a teleport, that means that she'll be able to get back for relatively quick and free.
Yeah, but you're gonna lose a bunch of minions here. And now, Ravana coming in, things might change.
Things may indeed change. Lucky in the waters is good to try and slow everyone. Terra dashed in as Ravan's trying to follow up the rest of the damage. Figaro picks up skills, though, who wasn't able to follow up the rest of it. Raging has made the rotation now. Good Mez and damage onto the Sobek, but Sickening Strike is good, and he gets away with the blink. Out of combat.
Yeah,
Out to safety.
I said he might get punished
They can
because
punish
the
him.
blink early, but the early blink actually saved him that situation. So, great pickup overall. 3 kills now for the Sobek. I mean, Sobek is not the god that escalates lane really like that. But it's always good to have that immovable front line, can zone out, interrupt Sobek against Raijin because you can stop the one with the knock-up or the plug. So you get a huge factor in those later game team fights. And having him up, good at going, that's a great thing to have for your team.
Indeed. Well, mid lane seems to be fairly standard right now. Both teams trying to just farm as best they can. Left side, Ulra and the Hachiman. This is a matchup we've seen quite a lot of as of recent, since the Ulra changes, when he got buffed to where people were saying he was stupid, which I kind of have to agree with there. This matchup, though, is interesting. It seems like one down have just let Madface start roaming now and trying to get Zeman to just get what farm he can 1v2.
Yeah, but they are actually doing good to be denying this farm. They completely denied the whole wave there. On the other hand, Athena being in that lane takes away farm from Henry or Diola. So let's be careful about doing that, how they distribute the farm between their players. Because they really want to farm, but they want to be aggressive. They have Ravana who wants to be aggressive. They play against Anuva, and Anuva just mostly wants to scale up into the late game. So you want to use the time frame the Anuva pick gives you to be aggressive, get your Raijin rotating, which he does a great job so far on, even though lane. So yeah, they're doing good, but now they want that Ula rolling because Ula, he's not a perfect pick in the late game. He doesn't have a good steroid, he doesn't transfer too well, and Hachiman transfers way better, having the safety of a CC in ultimate, it covers huge distances. So you want your Ula to be more aggressive, you want to get the kills on the 6 lane, get him ahead, get him rotating, maybe get another Gold Fury. Just make worth of that great early game pick in Ula.
Very true with Ulra. Interesting as well, though, he's actually not going for a Transcendence, which we see most of the time. Looks like he's going for the Devaris Gauntlets, or could be Bloodforge here, but either way, maybe not even going any stacking items.
I've seen that. There's this new Jingwei build coming around, but I don't see that in Ula. So, it's going to be Devos. And it's a good choice against an Hachiman, because Hachiman with that banner or something, he pokes you a lot. Heavenly banner. There we go. So he pokes you and he pokes you, and his long context, he pokes you a bit more. And having that life in that lane, even for Ula, is really good. So you can like sustain the waves, they can poke that hard, and stay in the lane longer without getting poked out, and then be full life with full engage where Ula really shines.
Mid lane, Ravan blinks in onto the Geb, roots him in place. Tycho drums a good deadly PvP. Will pick up the kill in there. Nuwa runs away with the tail between the legs, and it looks like maybe OmegaLUL are trying to wrap around onto this Hachiman. He doesn't seem to have any ideas. Jump in by Aura. Axton is good. Beads, though, doesn't even matter. Bladed Arrow just erases Zixman.
During all that, Nigel Nemesis was in the solo lane, trying to get the Terror behind. But she don't want to get Terror even more behind. Sobek already has 3 kills. If he can't win the lane on that, he will not win the lane at all. So get it over. Get it to protect your Hachiman, protect your Nuba. Both are like really not that effective in the early game. Hachiman's decent, but Nuba is really like stay behind. You could see that in the last team fight, where Raijin was going in, ulting, doing tons of damage, and Nuba was lane like, I can throw a bit of damage and there maybe stun if it's close enough. So they're really using that advantage, and the combination of Raijin and Athena in the early game is just devastating, and they're using that very well.
Well, we can see the Sobek trying to push that lead that you mentioned, but might get punished for it. Does get away nicely, though. Unfortunate that Shadow wasn't able to put any pressure on there, and that feels like that's been the problem right now, is trying to put pressure on for One Down. One Down have had this lead, but they never felt like they've been able to use it. Meanwhile, mid lane, we see the use of that pressure. Mystic Rush already used on Nuwa. Beads of Force goes up into the air with the Fire Shards, but that just shows how many people are around to try and take her down. Mez is good, and Shadow picks it up.
Well, Satellite looking around, like, yep, I'm so dead. And then goes down, and another good engage. That's what Ravana still brings to the table. Wei was so good in Season 4 because he was so aggressive early, he was so good at boxing, and he's making it work. And he's really good against Nuva because he has a good CC immunity on his 2 to get over that stun. And after stun, Nuva has nothing left. He only has left side. Could also do that.
Engagement. Mounted archery forced by the Hachiman just for the CC immunity, recognizing that the beads are still on cooldown from that last time that he died. Ares just turns up and says, hey, do you want to see if we can get a kill here? And that's, I don't think any ADC would ever turn down an opportunity to get a kill on their opponent.
And I talked about that he wants to escalate in the early game. And it's a good way to burn the ultimate. Oh, Nigel blinks in, but good jump out.
Good blink, but the taunt is better to stop any follow-up damage. Cataclysm sets up enough damage for Nigel to pick up the kill, but Shadowcaster will return the favor onto Nyx, roots him and boots him square back to base. Nigel, though...
Beautiful rotation there out of Shadowcaster T. He's way on point, and now they traded support for AD carry. And this is a trade all AD carries would like, and most supports are like, yeah, but I'm dead. But it's still very good because the AD carry is still farming. We're still not aware if Una is actually going for the Devos or for the Buff.
Oh no, Nuwa caught out of position. Taiko Drum sets up enough damage for Shadow to pick up another kill in quick succession. Sobek looking to try and proxy farm again to put pressure on, but Shadow finds the farm better off. Feels that despite the fact that there's a Sobek, like you mentioned, he's just a Sobek. You can't really stop him.
Yeah, and even Terra being a bit behind, Terra doesn't care all too much. As long as he's like not like 4 levels down and will die instantly every team fight, get some farm, get some items, and be there as a great buffer or debuffer and stun lock God. She will stun lock people, she will root people, no matter what happens in that lane. And Sobek, he will not push your tower all too quick. Yes, he can proc a bit, but right now Terra can clear the wave without having to tank it really good. So, nothing happening, and all the attention of Nigel in that solo line is basically negated by because Terra doesn't care all too much.
Indeed, and this is... Sorry, this is why I was confused at the idea of putting the Terra there. Why put the Terra there? Hang on, maybe a little bit of poke in the duo lane, but Nigel thinks better of it. But going back to that point, why would you put the Terra in the solo lane? Why not the Athena, who can also make these high rotations? Why put the Terra there? Is it just to deal with the fact that I'm knock-up immune to the Sobek? Is that really all that you really want from that? Like, that ultimate's so impactful.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but it will be impactful teamfight when she can join them. And they know that they want Athena on the map. They want to combine the Athena with the Raijin, as we see a lot, and combine the Athena like ulting on the Ravana with a great engage, like Ravana ult, and Athena on top of that. That is scary. And if you do that on the solo lane, then Athena will leave the solo lane way too much. So she will lose farm at that point and lose an early tower, free the enemy rotation, and the Sobek rotation is as devastating as the Athena rotation. So I really like the choice to put her onto support and get Terra farming and get Terra nice and fat and good farm for the teamfight phase when you need her.
I guess as well what it also means is just having those more levels means that those ultimates are going to do even more on top of what they would do. The damage that comes out from those will be even more. The healing that comes out will be even more, just sheerly from the fact that she's got more farms and more points in that ultimate.
Yeah, and the ultimate gets better in the late game phase because it's just it's a catalyst. So it scales up your team's damage or defense your team, no matter where you go for. But if your team doesn't have all the damage to scale up, it's not effective. But in later team fights...
Duo lane. Sorry to cut you off for just a second. Nemesis blinks forward, Divine Judgment, as Mounted Archery finds the kill. Nice work there. And originally, OmegaLUL had a huge line of wards all the way blanket crossing the top of the map from Gold Fury to mid lane. Now, they're covered by 2 sentry wards, and 1 down have 5 wards in this entire area.
Yeah, so that's really good because the blue team, Henry, should have known about that because the third getting concussion by the team for the mid lane, so I'll give it to you.
Good damage out, but Raijin immunes most of it. Taiko Drums goes up, just trying to push everyone away. Cataclysm only hits onto Athena, and Sobek was chasing away the Raijin. Meanwhile, Nuwa forced out incredibly low by the Terra and by the Raijin as well. Ultimates were used by Shadow in the mid lane. I can only imagine onto the Nuwa and the damage that does, but Henry is now making rotation. Good blink and the damage. 3-man taunt, no! Earthen Blessing comes out and a big root not to boot. Get forced very low, uses shield onto the Nemesis to make sure they get away. And now it's OmegaLUL who are being aggressive as 1 down, have to fall back as they're 1 down in the team fight.
Yeah, that was a beautiful ult by Shadowcaster. You missed it because you were watching the Raijin. He jumped on Nuva and 2 other players in that small corridor between mid lane and jungle. Hit all 3 of them, damaged them really hard, so they had to disengage, so they can't follow up with the damage, and this one leads to that Gold Fury that started right now.
Looking to try and be a sneaky steal here. They do have ward vision, so they knew that this was going on, and they should have had some idea. Athena trying to taunt them away, but it seems that OmegaLUL end up disengaging and pulling off the Gold Fury. Raijin dashes away as Terra dashes in aggressively. Aijutsu not on the mark, but Nigel is on the mark. Skills doesn't have what it takes to pay the bills, as Gold Fury now is being aggressed by 1 down. And with Nemesis being the one zoning here, they're actually doing a damn good work, pushing Athena even further back, picking up the kill in the process.
Yes, that was kind of terribly played by OmegaLUL, because they didn't know if they were going to commit to the Gold Fury or to the fight. If you players were committed to the fight, if you were going to the Gold Fury. And if you do a call like that, you want to have a crisp call. You want to go fight or go for gold. But doing both at the same time, it's too much damage in the early game and the Gold Fury, so you can't handle both. They get punished for that one, and in a way, better execute the Gold Fury. And talk about execution, that executed in mid lane.
Indeed, Cataclysm comes out, Lucky in the Waters, followed up, goes up to the Tiger Drums, but can't find enough to keep himself alive. Sobek gets out by the tiniest hair of HP, but not for too long. Athena puts him in combat. He was looking for the blink over the wall, but Reach goes just far enough to keep him in combat. So unfortunately, Frigo, it looked like One Down really wanted to try and aggress onto this mid lane. We saw a fantastic knock up the Raijin, but there just wasn't enough control from the get. We see him burn the Cataclysm and the knock up into it, but no one's really there to follow it up. And I kind of feel like that's a little bit to do with this new war and that item that I can see right there after boots.
Yes, it's going to be Celestial Legion home at that point, getting some of those physical protection because he's really, really scared of that Ravana jumping on her head in every team fight and every lane situation. She got caught out like 4 times in the early game and get heavily punished by the Raijin damage and the Ravana engage. So getting some physical damage online is pretty good here. But I actually like the aggression on Devil PvP because they knew his speeds were down. He burned them in the Gold Fury fight. So he wasn't even target, but it was a bit misplayed because Frigo was going for the kill with ultimate, but Nu was in the air. And the damage would have been enough to kill him. So Frigo could have bailed out of that one. It would have been a simple 1-for-0, but now he can do that, and more demon, Pyromancer goes down.
Indeed it does, but One Down look like they want to try and chase this out. Athena is here, Thorns back in the Sobek, who pops the sprint, and the Thorns as well. But OmegaLUL will get out for completely free in this instance. Pyromancer goes their way, at the cost of 2 ultimates, but they did get Blink from Sobek, which is very important for them. So they now try and defend this tower in mid lane. Raging has good damage.
He really has to be really careful going into that, because the Raging tower, there's so much to see on the team, and the Nemesis has so much follow-up. Oh, but Ziggsman, a lot of trouble here. Huge damage on Raijin.
Mounted Archery will get him to safety. Tycho Drums in this small corridor is good, but only when there's a Sobek around, and he's more than happy to eat up this damage. Sprint has been popped as well, but OmegaLUL aren't able to find anything off it. Ravan only finds Frigo on Sobek, and Sobek's very tanky at this stage of the game right now.
Yeah, he's very, very tanky. It is a great 4-turn job. He died once because he was taking like 7 tower shots at that point, so it's really hard to take down, having the combination of the Void Stone and the Beguiling Mail breaking against the attacks, but fights breaking up once again because skills goes in.
Bit of a miscommunication, I feel like, from OmegaLUL. Most of the members were all sat so far back, so having skills up that far, I'm not sure entirely what they wanted to get here. I do feel though that Ogi was a bit preemptive with the ultimate. It felt like panic to me.
Yeah. Well, there's a reasonable panic, because if you're dying that much to ever engage, you just want to get out of it. And Nemesis
being chased down, turns it around onto the Ravan, but Mystic Rush is still good for damage mitigation. Geb gets slowed, as does the Sobek, and Ravan will limp away with nothing more than the back camps. Nemesis does get a speed buff at the cost of her ultimate, which is fine. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this Nemesis build. Talk to me more about this Nemesis build, because I just don't want to look at it, man.
It is the auto-attack focused Nemesis build. It's the tank shredding Nemesis ult. You want to get close to them, you want to fight, you want to attack him. But I'm on your part here, because he's running into so much CC that he won't get all the attacks off. And
That's
even
my
if he
problem,
does
man.
Yeah, so we have seen, normally we see it a bit later, normally we see Nemesis players go into a bit of burst, like going for like a Brawlers, a Crusher, famous situation, and then transfer attacks, which is way better for the late game, because auto Nemesis is the stronger late game
side.
character.
Oh, Hachiman dashes away, mounted archery forced by Athena. Nice bit of positioning there from OmegaLUL, trying to pincer out someone, but Hachiman was a little bit too quick on the draw there. Doesn't burn beads, burns the ultimate instead, as it's the shorter cooldown.
Yeah. So back to my point of the Nemesis, she has like no burst right now because she needs any attacks to amplify any of those items she has. And since the teamfights are so messy, all she can do is like get a quick slash and dash in and then gets out. So there's no long chase down, there's no like periods where they can chase down enemies and get them and whittle them down slowly. So out of view here, I would love to see a bit more of a burst Nemesis at that point.
Awkward plug. Athena clips the wall, goes flying back. not able to be punished right now, but Terra is looking to, thankfully, is knock-up immune because of those monoliths. So again, we see another dance here at the mid tier 1 tower. Sobek pulled, gets beads, but gets taunted back and forced into lurking in the waters. Pops his thorns, Mystic rush into the backside, Nemesis goes, fires back the ultimate onto the Ravana to try and chase it down. Raijin actually dashes aggressively in and wishes now he hasn't done that as he gets plucked back in. Then Blessing comes down as the team now tries to chase it away, and a good taunt, but better shield keeps Sobek safe.
Yes, and a super tanky Sobek is amazingly annoying as he is, but add a gap shield on top of that, it makes things even worse. And they caught out the Sobek 2 times in teamfight. First time, he dashed at a tower, go for a deadly PvP, deadly beast, and Athena instantly taunted Sobek. So he took a lot of damage out of Deadly, a lot of damage out of the tower, but it was not enough because he's so far ahead and he's so tanky. He isn't even ahead, as you'll see right now, but he's so tanky, so he will survive that. And then catch him out again, but Gap Shield comes in and he's safe. So Frigo, he can basically do what he wants right now. This is really annoying for the enemy team.
He can, but unfortunately, we talked about earlier how he had made this amazing transition for being very aggressive early, and he got those 3 kills very early. But since then, he's actually found himself 2 levels at a disadvantage to skills. Is that just purely because he's been making these rotations earlier than skills and he's been able to farm it up, or?
Yes, I feel like he is the main engage for the team because Gap without a blink, they could sprint in and then look for an ult, but they don't really engage. Nigel with the attack build can't really engage because he can't go like blink in and chunk someone down to half his life bar. So at that point, they need Sobek to be there to engage. This is really costing them because they don't need Terror to engage. Skills can be this lane, clear one more wave, and then slowly while the team fight, they can stay alive till they get there, and then you have a huge impact. So Frigo is in a position where to give up his lead to help his team to at least sustain those team fights.
Looks like, though, we do see that Zixman has made it back in. Had a little bit of an issue in that last engagement, but it actually goes to show how well One Down were playing that. If they were down their Hunter in that engagement and they still come away, right, not as well as they would want to, but they do manage to get out of that awkward situation to buy the time to go for the pause. So, yeah. Very well done.
So I have a question for you.
All right.
Because we see Ula, well, the game's on pause, so we are fighting a bit, but hopefully not too much. Did go for the Blood Forge. And
he did.
You recommended that. Why did you say it? Because I've never seen that.
I think the idea here is you mentioned yourself, you want your Aura to be fighting more. You want him to be able to take these fights. If you're spending time trying to get stacks up, hang on. Sobek goes for the blink, but doesn't manage to steal gold. Pure OmegaLUL will manage to take that one out. Sobek now caught in a world of trouble, does dash away, and actually gets the safety by the looks of it. Ravana is wrapping around. Clap's not good. Blink is better. Gets the root, but it's not good enough. Frigo actually turns it around for the team. Blink forward by the Nemesis as well. The team is now barreling down this lane. We've seen this kind of position time and time again. That Hazen Katana from Nigel, though, doing work. Now being chased down a bit further. Misses out the Axe stun. As over the backside, Athena's leading 4 in a wild goose chase. Nemesis is all on their own versus these two.
So Nigel is making it out. Medphase there for protection to shield up. So Nigel is fine. Actually, Athena as well making it out. Nope. Call me liar, she's dead.
Yeah.
Good job there.
3 members down. No one getting out of that one.
Nah. Still well played. Henry sadly missed his axe on the Nemesis when she was on the tower, so he could have gotten a bit out of there. But yeah, great team fight there. And yeah, they thought that they had the Sobek. Shadow blinked in, rooted him, but there was a ton of damage. He turned back, captured the Sobek, and they completely turned that team fight around. Love to see that. Guess how the gap gives you. He's not as great as engaging, he's blinkless, but he's still great at disengaging and turning around team fights. That's what we just did. And Frigo right now taking the tower for the last piece of HP, but it's falling down. Zixar picks it up.
Ooh,
and now is coming.
Is getting Defender Olympus channeled on him. Ares looking for something, but can't get anything. One down, are just too far away to follow anything up here. I just want to go back to a little point on that team fight. Is these two teams seem to really love that small, narrow corridor between the tier 1 tower in mid and the order side right buff. We've seen so many fights break out at this point.
Yeah, but it is a bad fight a bad place to fight because with the current situation in season 5 with mages having so much burst, it's a coin flip. Like, which mage is getting the better skill off will determine team fight because you're all going to suffering under that, and this is really devastating for any team we get there. You can see how fast team fights can be turned around in situations.
Sobek plucks in the rage in, forced very low from the minion explosion, lurking in the waters, doesn't even matter. Zex will hit that with the basic attack skills, going back to base thanks to Nutty Joe there. And now OmegaLUL gets flipped back in. Athena now getting dove by the rest of them. Blink from Nemesis trying to do damage, but he's getting control. But a fantastic Geb shield will keep them alive. Mystic Rush though goes over the top of the Geb, and he picks that one up. Ares falls to the backside. That's the second time now members of One Down, 3 of them, if not more, have been focusing out this Athena.
Well, she's big in the backline, and I didn't like to play Nigel because he had no reason to aggress on you with her. It was fine, pick up the Athena, free objective for you, but right now you're missing Nemesis, Ravana's around, so that Fire Giant has got way harder, but Shadowcaster's looking to go down, goes down to Frigo, easy peasy.
I like the idea from there. He had to try and show face, get them off it if he could, potentially steal it if it had already been put that low, but you kind of, once that happens, as soon as you've sort of shot your shot and you've missed, you're kind of there, you go, well, I guess I just die now.
Yeah, especially if you start counting hard CC on those 4 members.
Oh god, there's
Hard
so
rocks,
much
hard start on
CC.
6-man, knock up an ult on Gap, and there's also Crocodile. And the 6-man question, please not die to the...
Oh.
Well, great effort trying to give Nigel the Fire Giant, but losing the Fire Giant on your AD carry? Yeah, can we keep the slow clap up for a bit because...
That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna say it happened. Look, performance issues, it happens to the best of us, 1 in 10.
Yeah.
Doesn't help sometimes. Unfortunate situation. The one player who probably would make the most use out of this Fire Giant, I'd say, doesn't end up with it. Buys OmegaLUL a little bit of time to OmegaLUL themselves. Henry picks up his tier 1 tower, will spot out the Nemesis rotation as there's deadly PvP, so we'll get back to base in time. Now it's up to One Down to decide how they want to try and really abuse this Fire Giant. Do we see them just barrel through mid and finally take this tier 1 tower?
Yeah, let's go for towers. Group up, get Nigel around, wait for 6-man because he had legs, apparently. That little Fire Giant.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Frigo is good enough to take out at least damage at Solar Tower enough. They're looking for the Pyromancer, then they got a ball up and look for more towers. They're in a good position right here. They're actually not even that far up. Like, basically, all the lead they have is that Fire Giant, so they have to be a bit careful. They cannot, like, recklessly dive on the towers because they're still pretty even on the playing field. So they want to look for a good engagement, get the safe towers, push them back, poke them out, get into poke wars because you have the reach of the Fire Giant, and then like to get the tower stopped. They can't rush it. They have to be careful with that.
True. Well, luckily for them, minions did manage to take down the left or the right side solo tower tier 1. So that's 1 down, 5 more to go. Or 4 more, is it actually?
4 more to go. It's actually 3 more.
It's 3 more now. 3 down, 3 to go. Ooh, missed pluck by the Sobek. Forces his Magi's cloak right now.
Well, that's the thing with the Sobek right now.
Is that a blink?
Missing a lot of plugs.
I swear I heard a blink. I hear blink? No, no one's used blink.
No one used blink.
I could have sworn I heard blink.
Oh, look, but Go Fury's going down for 1 down. No contestation there out of the team of OmegaLUL. And this is the part about Sobek. Like, he was in a really bad position, but they can't punish him. He missed the plug into 4 members, and he didn't care. He just walked out of it.
I guess Fire Giant regen plus being level 18, and that's kind of one of the things that Sobek's always been. He's kind of, if he misses the dash, he just has a saving grace of knocking everyone up. Thankfully, the Magi's blessing will be good. This defense is going on. Ravon overhead kicks the Cataclysm. Nua's up in the air looking for it, but Skills picks up Frigo, who was on the front side of that under tower. The blessing now forcing the rest of the team. Good damage onto the Nuar as Skills gets himself a double kill. Thought of pop, and now as the Nemesis into the backside, looking for the Ravon, can't find it, will just dash right on through. OmegaLUL end up holding on this tier 2 tower as, I guess, just keep barreling down this
down. Crystal has to shield himself, can't roll out. Good knockup though. Crystal's rollout will be blocked though. Madface is down here.
He will be missed.
He will be missed, Madface. That's what killing him in rank games.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where someone in a movie someone trips when they're running away. Everyone else looks back, and as they see whatever they're running from chases them, they just go, "Leave me. I will sacrifice myself." That's basically what happened.
Yeah, but what would happen actually is what I was talking about. Yes, they had the Fire Giant. Yes, they had the minor lead, but they didn't have a huge lead. So the teamfight could be turned around, and that's what it did. They were aggressive. Frigo, yes, he's very tanky, but diving out of the tower on his own was a bit too much. He was taken down for so long, and then the chase was there. And as I said, they didn't have a huge lead, so they can't do that. They can't be reckless. And they've been reckless, and they've been heavily punished for that.
Indeed, has been the case. Unfortunately, It felt like a bit of miscommunication. Friggo was on the front line, slowing everyone down, but didn't pay respects to just how much damage you end up receiving because of that Earthen Fury, or the Blessing. It's one of the two, but because of that, you take more damage. The TLDR, if you look at the wall of text, is allies take less damage, enemies take more damage. So no matter how tanky you've ended up building, taking just 10% more damage on top of a Mystic Rush, which also as well increases the amount of damage you take by 10%. If you're taking 20% more damage, that sucks.
Yeah, and that Raijin has the damage right now. He's up on 4 items, one is a Soul Reaver, Pen is coming up, so he's really, really painful now. And if Sobek gets rid of his protections, gets the extra damage applied, he will melt to the Raijin. They're really careful with that. And as I said, they overcommitted, they thought they were stronger than they are, and they got punished. But now the game is basically back to even. Fight is going to respawn soon, and we have another dance and see who's the winner of that one.
Indeed, ward placements are going to be the main thing on both these teams' mind. Mostly going to be wanting that one square in the middle of the Fire Giant pit. Currently sat for 1 down. Is a sentry ward for Shadowcaster, so he will clear that one up. But immediately, well, shortly, should be replaced by Hachiman's, and it will be. Fire Giant has respawned now, and 1 down looking in the better position to try and take this one.
Yeah, they're good timing because they knew they could check the inventory, see they didn't have any sentry wards, so someone had to back to get another sentry ward, and they could use that time to actually bait the Fire Giant like Ziggsman is doing. He's pretending like he's shooting the Fire Giant, but he's not actually even doing it. So they're looking for a good fight here, looking for a pickup, maybe the Sobek again.
Could be the Sobek.
Could be Terra.
Go. The Terra. Not good. Raiju damage is amazing. Sobek is shielded out by the Geb, so he doesn't take too much damage. Gets stunned out. But it's again, Athena is the one with 4 of these members. Gets stunned out by the Clay Soldiers. Used by the Divine Judgment, but the ultimate stun is better. Earthen Fury comes down, and Raijin over the walls doesn't get the first kill in this engagement. Actually, Hachiman will fall to skills after Athena falls in the backside of it. Geb now forced down very low. Deadly PvP will pick that one up. It's a 2-for-1 trade so far for OmegaLUL. Nemesis does manage to take out the Henry there, but isn't able to keep themselves alive. Root's not on the mark.
Aegis by Nuwa still has no ultimate. Should not escape that, but Deadly says, yeah, you can trade that down skills. Now he's looking for the kill. Has the Raijin on top of it, but good stun on Ogibri. Looking to get out, and meanwhile Friggo gets chased on the tower, gets killed.
And it's a Deicide coming out for 1 down rather than Omega. They were the team looking to try and start on this Fire Giant, but again, they're investing so much into this Athena. Why do they keep looking at this Athena?
Because Athena is out of position all the time. So again,
but if you're out of position,
pick it up. But what saved her there was a Mantle of Discord. There's a 5-man stun out of Mantle of Discord. Because Athena was dead, and if Athena would be dead at that point, they could have snowballed that team fight. But she didn't die, had a Mantle of Discord, and now that leads into a Phoenix for his team. Really well played. I love the choice to not go for the instant Fire Giant, but go for the Phoenix. Because I always hated people go for the Fire Giant when the Phoenix is free to take. Because why would you get an objective that helps you get a Phoenix when you just can't get the Phoenix?
Indeed. Fire Giant and the Phoenixes do respawn, but minions with that Phoenix down, gaining that fire buff, just doing so much more for them. Now that they have this mid-pressure, this Fire Giant is not only more available to them, but also a little bit easier for them to lean on when they need to get out of this Fire Giant. They have that mid lane. They don't have to worry about taking that. It's a time investment. This Fire Giant can now do more for them that isn't waiting to take mid Phoenix.
Yeah, there's no Janus, there's no Vulcan, there's no Toth. The danger of that going stolen away from far distance is very low, so they can do that even though they don't have Ula with them, who's their objective shredder at that point. But they're going to get the Fire Giant, they can regroup, they can spend money, they still have their tier 2 tower line standing, nice and healthy. They can play from that, and yeah, looking to get more of those picks. And so far, we have to accomplish deadly PvP, because all those last team fights, he had beautiful positions for his ults. Like he was standing in that back cam and was able to ult 3 people, just doing so much damage with that, and it was just lovely to see.
It was a really nice spot in that back camp because no one could even look at him. No one was aware he was ulting until the shots had already come out and hit 3 or 4 people in that engagement. At which point, 1 down are like, guys, we've got to get out of here. But everyone's health bar just got so low so quickly.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a bit on Nigel's shoulder here because he feels a bit disconnected to his team. Like he's always trying to flanking, but he's taking very long routes around the team fight. And he's not always there where he ends. His deadline looks good, but it's actually that good because he's mostly too late. So when he goes in, he finishes off 1 or 2 kills. Yes, but 3 of his teammates are dead, and then those kills are like dead weight. They're nothing. So I want Knight to be closer to his team, so he could do more, maybe build a bit tankier at that point, just to be more of a catalyst. Because Nuva has the damage now. She's up there, but she needs to be enabled. And so far, they're not really enabling the Nuva, all the 6-man 80 carry.
Indeed. Take a quick look at the player damage charts to see that Raging is going to sit at the top at 21,800, but it's not exactly that far behind her for the Nuwa. So,
well, it's a Nuwa.
It is a Nuwa, and we do say that, it's Nuwa, you press 4, you get 2,000 damage, but she's not really been using that ultimate that impactfully to try and finish off these kills. Most of the time, that ult has been to get her that 4 seconds or so of respite to get up in the air to let the team come around her.
Yeah, and then die afterwards.
That's true.
That's like all her ults in the early game were like, oh, there's a Ravana. Oh, I take a lot of damage. Oh, I'm ulting. Yep, I'm still dead. So actually,
in which case,
I don't really like that fake damage call out, but at that point, when most of the ults are used for saving your own and not to damage the team files or apply the Divine Ruin, it is actually a bit of fake damage. So I would rate Nuwa's damage a bit lower here. Yeah, but still, it's like Raijin is doing so much. He's very tanky. He's very sustainy. He can peel for himself. He has an HP pool. So it's really hard to take down, especially when Niger is not on him. And Niger, with that auto-tech build, can't take him down quick enough right now. So that's the issue. You don't have an assassin who could actually assassinate a target.
That's another strange thing, as you were mentioning. Nigel feels like he's doing more of this flanking style, but he isn't really built for that. If you had like the Heartseeker and the Crusher, and you immediately slice and dice someone, and they take a third of the health bar, and suddenly now they're regressing onto you because look at how much damage they can take. It feels like Nigel would be more warranted in saying, I'm going to try and flank around. But with this auto attack heavy build into the high CC comp, I just feel like it's a bit mishmash.
Yeah, it's a bit mismatch. Its damage, we talked about that, is not that high. It's not considerably low, but it could be higher if you had the damage build. We see in other games how devastating Nemesis can be early, especially the damage portions of the slice and dice. Or 2, even gets nerfed next patch, so it is pretty strong. It's a hard nerf. It's like 20 damage on, or like 10 damage on each.
Yes, 10 damage from each level, which if you're hitting that center point where it's double damage, technically it's 20. So there's a bit of math.
That is huge. That's a huge nerf.
Yeah, definitely.
Damage nerf is insane, and he needs it because he has the damage. But if you don't utilize the damage because you build into instant attack speed, it's a bit rough. It's like the old school Nemesis. It's like the scaling Nemesis. It's like the old and run at you. But
love the olds. I love old Nemesis where you used to build like kin size and executioners because you would just get through all of their health bars, and even if they built health protections,
it was Nemesis was useless for like 20 minutes.
True.
Like I'm farming, guys. Hold on. Yeah, teamfight. I don't care. There's minions. I'll be there. And it worked. We're not talking about released warrior Nemesis here.
Oh no, let's not. Back when it was a 50% slow at rank 1 on her slice and dice.
Yeah, and like full damage return on the shield and.
Scary times. Scary times. Still though, scary times ahead for 1 down.
Yeah, scary times from 1 down, looking to push the Phoenix down here. And they don't have a good defense team. Nuva's one of the weaker clearing mages out of the range. Nemesis doesn't do a lot for you, Gap has no blink to fully engage, and though there's only 6 men standing, and so they can just aggress on the tower. Shadowcaster goes in.
Nemesis backside goes for a blink, but can't find a target immediately. Hachiman, on the other hand, was the target square for Shadowcaster, so he's found. Raging goes in, looking for damage on the Taiko drums, too lucky in the waters, but Madface will pick him up for this first engagement. Phoenix does fall thanks to the space creation for this aura. He picks up Naijo. Can he find the second one as Hachiman gets very low? 3-man taunt by Athena, pulls everyone back in, but Hachiman is still alive until Skills picks it up. Madface falls to Henry. 3 members down already for 1. Looks like actually OmegaLUL are just going to try and force the end here.
Looking for that. Good defense coming out of Frigo. Knocks away 2 players. Titan has still a half HP left, but can they finish it off? There's still 4 players on the board.
They can end.
They can end here. And we're down.
Frigo
kills 1. Hey, defenders. No! Oh. And
good work from OmegaLUL there.
Yeah, but I want to go back to that last team fight because that was beautiful. There was a full engagement of 2 players, but Henry just had eyes for the Phoenix. He had his eyes on the goal. He was I need to get the objective down. That's the most part. And as soon as the Phoenix was falling, everyone super hyper engaged. on the players. And normally you see people, like, a lot of teams have issue at that point because they know, we might go for the kills, some focus at Phoenix, and Phoenix keeps firing and firing, and then tanks die. Didn't happen. One tank, 180 carry on the Phoenix, the rest was chasing, and it was beautiful.
And it worked out well. We even saw Raijin dive out to try and create space for the Aura in the end of that.
Yeah, he was screaming worth at that point. He's like, yes, I'm dead, but put 12 damage out, and a bomb 80 carry enough time to get the Phoenix down, and then you got punished and you lost the game of that. So beautiful play, and just beautiful executed Phoenix dive at that point. I want to see more of those.
Yeah, and that was all set up by Shadowcaster in the end in that last engagement. Blinks forward, finds the damage into Zix, who's not able to then start pressing back what they really want to try and do in that last engagement. So forcing him out, we forced him out like twice in that engagement, wasn't able to be followed up. Lurking in the waters was used to try and zone away in the back line on the Phoenix, not at the front of it. So all the big damage and peel away that they had got used to try and peel them away from the team, not the Phoenix.
Yes. That's how beautifully executed at that point. Even though it was a good match, one down looked to be up for a lot of the game, because Frigo had that huge lead, and then Nigel looked looking good, but Ogibri was never in the game on the Nuva, couldn't get damage down, and Nuva actually excels in those jungle corridor fights, because you just walk over the corner, suddenly 3 minions, you're dead. But could never do that, died a lot, deadly PvP, was always there at the point, follow-up, had good communication with Shadowcaster. Ares, even though he was in off position sometimes, mostly made good work of it. Even though he got caught out, he was dragging around 3 players, so bought some space for his team. So it worked out really, really well. I like the pickup, I like the Terra in the solo lane. She got the farm, even though she got behind early. Doesn't matter, she's so good in teamfight. This ultimate is a monster. She used it well. She was not too trigger happy, she was waiting for the right moment, and it worked beautifully. And they turned around the fight, and that's how they won.
Indeed. Well, one Titan did fall down in the end, and OmegaLUL will take the victory here in the battle for Athens here at Smite Prime. Thank you very much for watching. My name has been Supersonic Blur, joined on the cast by Troublegum, and we will see you all next time.